so our first step is just going to be mounting the corner stud here. We've got screw holes for SDS and Thrifty modules here. Then we're going to use this 3D printed aligner. There are different sizes of these for different offsets depending on what size plates you want to put on the side of your robot. That'll go in here. This is just temporary. It'll get thrown away as soon as you're done mounting. So that fits in here. It goes there with the little bracket, and we're pre-mounting all the brackets. So you can have a little knob on the top of your standoff here, or put or leave it blank and use a driver or a socket or whatever you want as well if you prefer doing that. So we're going to do that on every corner. Might want to align it a little bit. It should align itself when you put in the wood, but if you want to, straighten it up now. So we're going to pre-cut all of our wood. That just means that we're going to measure our robot here, measure it wherever you want. We've got a 28-inch here, and then we add 1 inch to it. So that means that we're going to come from basically the outside here to the inside of the bracket over there, or just measure frame perimeter and add 1 inch. So for this step, we're going to need our bumper wood, which I have pre-cut over here. Some clamps are going to be useful, although not strictly necessary, and then just your nuts and bolts. That'll come in your kit. So basically, you slide your wood up into the brackets. You want to kind of line it up on the corner there. None of the alignment here is critical. Kind of the whole goal here is that anything should work. If you have more people, then you can do this with fewer clamps. So we're going to clamp that in there. We're going to take another clamp. We're going to put that in here. And I'm going to angle my clamp a little bit here so that it is out of the way of drilling for me in a second. And then I'm going to have you come around so you can see drilling. So we've got the holes on the outside. Those are really just for alignment purposes. So we're going to drill straight through those. You're going to want to be fairly straight here. Otherwise, you will not line up with the holes on the inside. There you go there. And there. Then you are ready to go. Put in some screws. Take that out of the way. This will be a little bit annoying to get your fingers in here, but not too hard. We're gonna do that, and then we're gonna just keep on going around. All right, I'm gonna go around the rest of the corners and then come back. Okay, we have all of our wood pieces in place, and then we just have to take our bumpers off. And you can do this with power tools if you wanted to not spend quite as long taking these out. Bumpers come off. So the little plastic alignment blocks have just fallen out, and we don't need those again unless we're building a second set of bumpers immediately. Drop it back on, then we can put these back in. But first, we are going to set that there. So we can also now drill holes in these holes here and put in extra screws in each corner. That isn't strictly necessary, but those holes are there if you need a little bit of extra reinforcement. Here we have our foam. This is the last part of our bumpers. And because we have the square here, not the chamfer, we can do simple butt joints. So we're just going to cut it to length and layer our corners like that. So once again, we're going to measure the robot. we're at 30 inches here. And so we're gonna add the thickness of our bumper material, which gets us to 33 inches. And we're just gonna go cut all these. Okay, so here we are. We're gonna do this on with a hacksaw here. So I'm just marking at 33 inches and then cutting away. So you can also do this on a miter saw. It can buck on you, so I don't recommend it, but it will give you a slightly cleaner cut. You can also do this with a knife, but this is really easy to just do it with a hacksaw. Just like that. Now we're just going to tape these in place. Here I'm using field gaff tape. I would recommend duct tape, but this way I found sooner. Now I'm going to put our cut end here, over and away. Just put it up and wrap. So you can also use glue on this. Glue will actually be a little bit stronger, but this is just holding it in place until we put the fabric on. So we'll do that on all 4 corners and show you the final product. All right, here we go. This is our finished bumper installed and ready to have fabric.